Good afternoon, and glad you could join us today. Let's just get started talking about Apple's event yesterday. It's Glowtime on Go for Lunch for September 10th, 2024. Brought to you by GoFor Technology. I am your host, Roger Harmon, here to make your technology work for you. It's National Ants on a Log Day. Now, I had never heard of ants on a log, but apparently it's when you take a celery stick and you put peanut butter or cream cheese or some other similar substance, and then you top it with these little ant-like raisins. So if you've never done ants on a log, here's your excuse on Ants on a Log Day. So Apple had this great animation, and of course the event was It's Glowtime, and I've actually tried to research the meaning of Glowtime. I thought it might be the way that Siri is going to respond, but I haven't figured that out yet, so I'm still searching for what Glowtime means. So Apple started off with as always, a well-produced video showing several different people in various life situations, and it ended with designed to make every day something to celebrate. And then CEO Tim Cook came on to welcome everybody, and he mentioned that he gets a lot of emails about Apple's life-saving stories, and he shared some quotes from those emails. So people that using Apple Watch and iPhone that were saved because of the automatic notifications in an emergency. So then Jeff Williams, the Chief Operating Officer, stood there in front of the Golden Gate Bridge to talk about Apple Watch. So Apple Watch Series 10 is the new one. It has a screen size of about 30% larger than the first several Apple Watches and 7% larger than the current Apple Watch. So you can see here's the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Series 10 on the right, and you can see here that the screen size is almost exactly the same. So nice, now you can get more text on your screen. It will be easier to type on your screen because you got more screen to use. So the watch crystal is made out of a tougher material, and the design of the watch features a bevel where the glass meets the aluminum casing in a very nice, well designed and precision manufactured look. And you can also look at your watch at an angle easier because it has a wide angle OLED display, and it is up to 40% brighter. So when you're glancing at your watch at an angle, it will be easier to see. And now they have a jet black finish. It's the first time they've had a polished aluminum finish, and you can see here how it reflects the light because of the highly polished surface. So another choice in colors, so that joins the jet black joins the rose gold and the natural silver aluminum color. So another choice. And now they have translation. So the way it works is you talk to your watch what you want to say to a person speaking another language, and then at the bottom half of the screen on your watch it shows the text, and you would click on the little play button and be able to have the foreign speaking person hear the translation. So a very nice feature when you're traveling abroad. Then we had Dr. Desai, the Vice President of Health, come and talk to us about the health features in Watch OS 11. She reminded us of the existing features like the medications reminder, the fact that it's always monitoring for loud noises that could damage your hearing, and that it's checking for irregular rhythm of your heart. But now you will be able to check for sleep apnea. So apparently 80% of the population that has sleep apnea is undiagnosed. So now the watch, in association with an app inside the health app, will monitor your sleep for 30 days and then give you a report and tell you if you have sleep apnea. This will also work on the Series 9 and the Ultra 2. So if you have last year's watch, you get this feature. Then we went to Jules, the Director of Fitness Technologies, and she told us about some new fitness features. A company called Oceanic has an app that will track you while you're snorkeling. It will track the time, the depth, and it will show you the direction of your snorkeling adventure. If you're doing something that depends on the tides, there's a app now that will show you the tide for 7 days, and it will also let you know when sunrise and sunset occurs, and this will work worldwide. So anywhere you go on a coast, you can get the tide information. Now, as part of the workout app, you can track your kayaking, canoeing, and your rowing. So it will show on your watch your statistics for your workout, and then on your iPhone it'll show your track of your path while you were out there on the water. And it will also log your paddle trip. So it will create a float plan ahead of time, and then will help you stay on course with that float plan. So here's the overview of the Apple Watch Series 10. Now, one theory of why they held this presentation on Monday was it was the anniversary of the Apple Watch. However, I never heard them mention that, so that was kind of interesting. It's the thinnest ever watch. It has custom swimming workouts. It has up to 18 hours of battery life. It will work with Apple Intelligent as that rolls out, and it has the brighter off-angle view because of the wide-angle OLED display. And now the speaker can play back your music or your podcasts, so you can have listening while you're using your watch without your iPhone. It will also measure water temperature. It is carbon neutral, and it has the fastest charging. It will charge in 30 minutes to 80%. So this is extremely helpful if you're using the watch to monitor your sleep. You can charge it before you go to bed and have it last all night to monitor your sleep. It'll also measure depth down to 20 feet, and there is a titanium version which only costs $300 more. So it has the brightest display of any Apple Watch, and of course we talked about the sleep apnea. It's $399, the same price, and $499 if you want the GPS version. And it's available to order now and will be delivered on September 20th, depending on how soon you order it. So the Apple Watch Ultra 2 has a few changes, but it's basically the same as last year. The big change is it's available now in black titanium. So it has the speaker playback, it has the Tides app, it is carbon neutral. You can download maps into it, so you can use maps offline when you don't have a cellular connection. There is a deluxe version with an Hermes band. The brightness is 3000 nits as opposed to about 2000 nits on the regular watch. It has the most accurate GPS. It has a nice snazzy latch on the new band. It has a 36-hour battery life, or 72 hours if you put it into low power mode. So that is the highlights of the Ultra 2. Now we're going to talk about AirPods. So this is the AirPods Series 4. So you can now get AirPods with active noise cancellation. The stem has a force sensor on it to control different functions. The case now has a USB-C connector and can also be charged wirelessly on any Qi standard charger. They have new acoustical architecture, which is supposed to make everything sound better. And with the case, they will last up to 30 hours. It has voice isolation, which means it's going to cut out the background noise when you're in a noisy area and talking to somebody on your iPhone. It now has a speaker in the case, so you can use it with Find My. So when you're trying to locate your AirPods case, it will emit a noise and you can find it. Now the AirPods themselves don't work with Find My, it's just the case, so be aware of that. It also has personalized spatial audio, which means when you move your head, the audio changes accordingly. And the adaptive audio adapts to your environment, and it also has the conversational awareness that we'll talk about here in a little bit. And it seamlessly switches between your Mac, your iPad, and your iPhone. And of course, it's easy to set up. And they've actually changed the shape that fits into your ears. They have gathered data from thousands of people, and they think this new shape will fit even better. And it also has a Siri interaction, so if you get a call, you shake your head up and down, it will answer the call. You shake your head right and left, and it won't answer the call. So those are the basic features. The cost on the regular AirPods 4 is $129, and for $50 additional, you can get the active noise cancellation. Now we have the AirPods Max. Those are the over-the-ear headphones, and now they come in 5 different colors: midnight, starlight, blue, purple, and orange. So now you have a choice of colors, and now they also feature a USB-C connector for charging the Bluetooth headset. And they are still at $549 US. Now we have the AirPods Pro, sort of. So the AirPods Pro 2 are the current model, but they have enhanced them with some software updates. So they found out that there's 1.5 billion people living without correcting their hearing loss. So hearing loss can lead to cognitive decline. It can be a factor in falls. It can be a factor in social isolation, and it can cause depression. So you want to be aware of your hearing issues and correct them, and Apple is going to give you a way to do that by monitoring different things like noise and headphone audio levels, environmental sound levels, and environmental sound reduction. So 80% that of people that have had a hearing test have not had a hearing test in 5 years. So Apple's providing you one on the iPhone inside the Health app. So you can take a hearing test that's clinical quality, and you will get a chart very similar to what you'd get when you went to an audiologist, and then they're going to take this information and custom tailor your AirPods Pro to become a hearing aid. So they studied 160,000 people, and so from this study they have designed their hearing aids. So 75% of the people diagnosed with hearing loss are untreated. So the idea here is that you may be more likely to wear AirPods than a traditional hearing aid. So now the AirPods are going to be clinical quality hearing aids that can be sold over the counter. So what's available in the hearing aid mode is conversational awareness and conversational boost, which means when you're trying to listen to somebody that's close to you in a crowded restaurant, you're going to be able to hear that person much better. It's also going to be monitoring the noise around you, and again, it's going to take that hearing aid test and create a personalized hearing profile. All your results are going to stay on your iPhone, but you can share them with your doctor if you wish. And those hearing profiles will be used also when you're listening to media such as podcasts and music. And by default, the hearing protection is going to be on to protect you. So those are some of the features of the AirPods Pro 2. They're being added. And they're going to cost $249 as they do now. And you can get free engraving. So you can get free engraving on the AirPods case as well as the iPhone and iPod. So it's a great idea, a good way to identify your device when you're somewhere where other people have similar devices. And I know it saved me because I had an iPad with engraving on it when it was stolen, and it helped me recover it without any question as to whose it was. So some of these health features are awaiting regulatory approval. So some of the things that we discussed today will be coming out on future iOS and watchOS updates. So it may be a month or two before some of these features are available. So just be aware of that. So that brings us to questions. If you haven't already, please type your questions in the comments section down there on YouTube. And do me a favor, share the GoFor Gazette with anybody you know that uses Apple devices. And you're probably wondering, he didn't talk about the iPhone 16. What's going on? Well, I didn't want to make this really long, which it would have been. So we're going to talk about iPhone 16 and iOS 18 next week. So that'll give me a chance to do a deeper dive, gather more information on what was presented. Thanks for the thumbs up. And what wasn't presented that you would like to know about. So next week, iPhone 16, iOS 18. Be aware, however, that Mac OS 15, Sequoia, and all the other Apple operating systems will be coming out on September 16th. And as I noted in the GoFor Gazette, we recommend that you would turn off your automatic updates so that you don't get on the bleeding edge of technology. Another thing we have with Mac updates is sometimes your printer is not supported right away, so you want to make sure your printer is supported before you update your Mac OS. So if you need help turning off your automatic updates, let me know. So So let's see what you have to say here. So Judy wants to know the price of an Ultra. So the price of the Ultra, I think, is $7.99. Pretty sure that's right. And Susan says her Apple Watch thinks my running shower is a loud environment, but doesn't warn me about my water pick. Maybe the new Apple Watch will do a better job. By the way, I like the gold. Now gone. Yep. They give us colors and then they take them away. And Susan asks, does it make more difficult to set your to sell your devices if you put your name on them? Now, that's a good point. That probably would be a factor. So something to consider in engraving. Of course, if you just are doing hand-me-downs to somebody else in the family, they probably wouldn't mind. But if you're selling them to a stranger, that might be a consideration. But on the you can also engrave them with emojis, so you don't have to necessarily put your name on them. You could just do some emojis, and so that wouldn't be a big deal when you sold the device. But good point, Susan. Thank you for that. So thank you all for showing up. And again, next week we're going to deep dive into the iPhone 16 and iOS 18 and take advantage of all the news coverage that will happen between now and next Tuesday at high noon. So join us then for another Go for Lunch. If you think of anything that you want to know about between now and then, you can call me or you can email me, and that information is coming up right now. Have a great day.